Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about those that have had the most home runs in college softball, and now we're going to talk about the gymnasts that will be competing at the U.S. Gymnastics Trials. The trials will be lasting from July 28th to August 5th. The men's and women's will be competing simultaneously. There's a huge schedule for how it all works, so I recommend checking that out if you would like to see some of these athletes compete before the Olympic Games. The athletes with the highest all-around score will automatically qualify for the Olympics, and the athlete selection committee will choose the remaining 4 members of the team. During yesterday's show, I went over some of the people that qualify for the trials, and I talked about who I think is going to achieve the highest all-around score. Spoiler alert, I think it's going to be Simone Biles. Yesterday, I also talked about Sky Blakely, Jade Carey, Dulcie Kaler, Jordan Childs, Kayla Gicello, Shalise Jones, Sunisa Lee, Kalaya Lincoln, and Evelyn Lowe. So if you're interested in hearing my opinions about them, I recommend you go ahead and check out that video from yesterday. So let's just continue our conversation. The people that I did not talk about yesterday that qualify for the trials are Zoey Molomo from Metroplex Gymnastics, Hezly Rivera from Woga Gymnastics, Jocelyn Robertson from the World Champion Center, Simone Rose from the Pacific Range Gymnastics, Tiana Simona-Sekera from the World Champion Center, and Leon Wong from the University of Florida. Starting with Zoey Molomo. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. My screen keeps glitching and I'm like freaking out over it. Okay, starting with Zoey Molomo. She placed 11th in the Xfinity US Gymnastics Championships, so she was literally right there with getting in the top 10. She is particularly skilled at vault and bars, but her quote-unquote weaker events are the beam and floor, and this is an issue because the US team will probably take Simone Biles, who is known for her amazing level of difficulty and performance on the vault, as well as literally everything else, and they need someone who can carry even more on the bars and floor, and I don't know if Molomo is the right person for this. I don't know. I just don't think that this is going to be her year that she's going to make the Olympic team. I think she may be considered for an alternate position, and maybe she will end up being an alternate. But there are just so many amazing gymnasts that are kind of outperforming her in some of these competitions and are more standout competitors that I think have a better chance of being alternates than her, if that makes sense. Moving on to Hezly Rivera. She has impressed me so much recently. I really think she may be put as an alternate and possibly considered for the Olympic team. She finished in 6th in the all-around at the Xfinity Championships last weekend. The events she really dominated were the beams, bars, and vault, and her level of difficulty is great, which looks very promising to the selection committee. What does alarm me is that last year at the Xfinity Championship, she won the all-around gold as well as titles on the uneven bars and balance beam, but she did not go to the Olympics at all, even as an alternate. But she was 12 years old at the time, I believe, so that makes sense that she wasn't on the team, I guess. She's 16 years old now, and so she's still super young. So I don't think she'll be considered for the team, but rather maybe as an alternate. Whether or not she's on the team this year as an alternate, I think that if she continues training at this level, she will be on the Olympic team in the 2028 Olympics for sure. Jocelyn Robertson. I absolutely love her. She is so little yet powerful. She reminds me so much of Shawn Johnson. I'm really hoping that she's going to be picked as an alternate. I don't think she will be picked for the team though. At the Xfinity Championship, she literally flew on the bars and did amazing on the vault and floor. She literally flies in the air and has so much power. She also is super creative and performative, which sets her apart from a lot of the other competitors. She finished in 10th last weekend, which was a good spot, but I don't think it secured her spot to be considered at the moment for the Olympic team. You never know at the trials. She also has never been to the Olympics before, but she did achieve a 3rd place finish in the all-around at the Winter Cup in 2022. Next, we have Simone Rose. She is 16 years old, and just like Rivera, I don't think she's going to be considered for the Olympic team because of her age. Also, yesterday when I talked about Dulcie Kaler, who is 16 years old, I said basically the same thing, but because I also mentioned her age, it seems Kaler has a lower level of difficulty, which has put some of her scores down despite performing flawlessly. And that kind of goes the same with Simone Rose. She doesn't have the same level of difficulty as some of the other people going to the trials, which will be a disadvantage for her. But at the Xfinity Championship, she placed 12th, and the level of difficulty on the bars and floors was really good. Her level of difficulty for both was 5.4 for one day and 5.3 for another day, so that was where a lot of the other competitors that placed and the top 8 were around relatively. So because of that, I think Rose has a bit more of a chance to be considered for an alternate position rather than like Dulcie Kaler. Still, I don't know. I'm very much rooting for these 16 years old going into these competitions, but this is going to be a huge year for all of them. You have to remember that. Like, this is a huge time for them. This is going to be a moment where they can prove themselves, and hopefully they can maybe get a spot as an alternate, but you have to remember how competitive it is to get an alternate position as well, because you can only have 4 alternates. Next, we got Tiana Suminasekara. I really think she's going to be an alternate on the team. She finished in 9th last weekend. She is particularly known for the floor, and I feel like the selection team may consider her as an alternate for that event. She was not at the previous Olympics, but she trains for the World Champion Center, and so she's training with Simone Biles and Jordan Childs, and she has built on some of their skills that have proved her to be a good contender for the Olympic team last weekend. She is beautiful and very artistic-y and has beautiful feet and long legs. If the USA team wants to go for more dynamic and diversity in their team, she would be a really good asset. And what I mean by that is, like, you have people like Simone Biles who are more muscular and tiny, whereas Tiana Suminasekara is very much like longer, beautiful feet, beautiful legs, like a dancer. And if you want to have that dynamic and versatility, I think it would be great to consider both of them on the team, if that makes sense. Lastly, we have Leanne Wong. She placed 8th in the all-around last weekend, and I really think she's going to be considered for an alternate position and maybe even be considered for a spot on the team. Also in February of this year, she scored a perfect 10 against LSU and earned the title of SEC Gymnast of the Week. She's very fit for the Olympics, and she's clearly very skilled on the floor. So here's one of the biggest things, though. She won the silver medal in the all-around and bronze and floor exercise at the World Championships in 2021, and she was an alternate for the U.S. Olympic team for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics that were held in 2021, so the same year. If she was already an alternate, I think there's a huge chance that she will either be an alternate again this year or be on the team. And she really has only improved even more these past couple of years, so it would be unwise for Team USA to not have her be part of the team in some way, you know? Now that we just got through everyone, I wanted to show y'all what my ideal and perfect team would look like if I was the selection committee. The Olympic team is comprised of 5 athletes and up to 4 alternates, so here is what my team would look like, / this is who I would pick. For the actual team, I would first have Simone Biles. Imagine if I didn't say Simone Biles. Like, imagine if I just didn't have her on my team at all. That would be really funny. I feel like that'd be kind of like a plot twist. She's the best gymnast in the world, in my opinion. Her level of difficulty is out of this world, and she can carry the points just with that. Also, she's got a proven track record and could act as a mentor for the other gymnasts, considering she's competed at the Olympics before and is also in a lot of high-level competitions. Okay, I'm not going to go over her much because literally she's the best gymnast out there. I feel like I don't need to do that much explaining for her. Moving on, my next pick would be Sky Blakely. Blakely has demonstrated her prowess as an all-around gymnast, excelling in multiple apparatus. Her balance and versatility make her a strong contender for any event. She has those long, beautiful legs and feet like a dancer, which contrasts to Biles, who is more powerful like a Shawn Johnson type gymnast. I would want a very versatile, diverse, and dynamic team, so I would look for different strengths and features in each gymnast. Also, she placed 2nd at the Xfinity Championships, so she is right there with Biles. Next, I would have Jordan Childs. Actually, I just realized my presentation is in this order. It's in Jade Carey. Next, I would have Jade Carey. Okay, so she won the gold medal on floor exercise at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and she's known for her high difficulty routines, particularly on vault and floor exercise. Carey has shown that she can deliver under pressure, as evidenced by her Olympic gold and strong performances in other major international competitions. She has shown much improvement in the recent years, and she was a standout at the collegiate level as well. So I already spoiled who I would pick next, but also this is not really in any particular order, although I would have, if it had to be in an order, obviously I would have Simone Biles first pick, but this is not really in any order. Like Jade Carey and Jordan Childs, I would have them like interchangeably in the same order. You know what I mean? Like if I'm picking them. Okay, but like I said, Jordan Childs. Okay, first, Jordan Childs will be the biggest cheerleader and mentor for the team, but also Childs is known for her consistency across all apparatuses. She can be relied upon to deliver strong performances in vault, uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise, making her a versatile asset to the team. She has a lot of spice into her routines, especially for her floor routines, where she has fun little movements that show off her personality, and I think that would bring a lot of diversity to the USA team. It would set the team apart from many other teams at the game, so I think it would be like also a kind of performance-wise, like for the judges at the Olympics to be like, okay, this is different, you know? Lastly, on the team, I would pick Sunisa Lee, obviously. This one doesn't need much explaining either. She won the gold medal in the all-around competition at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and also secured a bronze medal on uneven bars and was a crucial member of the US team that won silver in the team event. I feel like it's very obvious that I would pick her on the team, and I think she should be an automatic selection for the team. Like, they should already be like, okay, Simone Biles and Sunisa Lee, they're already on the team. Like, that's not even like not even a discussion. Like, they're already on the team. Now we have to get to our more tricky selections, the alternates. I can only pick 4 alternates here, and geez, I struggled with this. I was going to pick 5, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with 4. I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to really pretend like I'm on the selection committee. Sorry, guys. Okay. First, I would pick Kayla Gicello. She's a powerhouse, all-around gymnast. She shines on every apparatus, making her super versatile. Remember her stunning performances at the Junior World Championships. There you go. She's also a regular top finisher at national competitions like the US Gymnastics Championships. Her ability to consistently deliver strong routines under pressure is exactly what you want in an alternate. Plus, she's got international experience, which is a huge plus when you're dealing with the big stage. Next, I would pick Jocelyn Robertson. If you've seen her on vault and floor, you know this girl brings power and precision. She's a beast on vault and has this dynamic flair and floor exercise that grabs high scores. Her recent medals at events like the DTB, Pole Team Challenge, and the Pan American Championships prove she can handle the heat here. Her ability to stay cool and deliver when it counts makes her a great backup for any situation. Then there's Tiana Suminasekara, who's been killing it on the balance beam and floor exercise. She's really come into her own lately, showing significant improvement. Her performances at the US Championships and the Pan American Championships were top-notch. What's exciting about Suminasekara is that she's on an upward trajectory, meaning she's only going to get better. Plus, her teamwork at international events shows she's ready to step in and support the squad whenever needed. Lastly, Leanne Wong is another strong contender. She's got that perfect blend of skills on uneven bars and balance beam. Leanne Wong's experience is a huge asset, because she was an alternate for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and has performed brilliantly at the World Championships, helping the team secure gold. So, I mean, if she's already an alternate before, I think she'd be a perfect selection again. Competing for the University of Florida, she's been a star in NCAA gymnastics too. Her balanced skill set and consistent performances make her a solid choice for any lineup. She better be on the team or an alternate, or I'm literally gonna cry. Now we're going to move on to our next segment where we talk about predictions for the NCAA D1 Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.